Welcome to GPTalks, the second series of my YouTube channel, which is going to focus on finding your dream job. Before we start with the Finding Your Dream Job series, I would like to talk about the beard. Well, I'm taking action in the charity called Movember. It's a nice play on word, mustache and November, Movember. And since my mustache is not that great, I'm growing entire beard and some mustache when I can. And basically this is all for charity, and Movember is a movement where men take action to take care of their health issues, primarily around cancer and mental health, and they also promote healthy lifestyle. Check out all the details in the link below, and if you like to support this charity, donate through my profile so I can then show how I support I show my support to this organization. Thank you so much, and let's get on with finding your dream job. I call it a dream job search, but the skills that you're going to learn throughout this series can be applied to any job search. I'm calling it dream job because I will show you the entire process of how to get the job you really want to get. And it might be a process that will take a few months, maybe even a few years, but eventually will get to the place you want to be. Like with every project, preparation is a key. And this episode is going to focus on everything that you need to prepare for the entire series. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about what kind of preparations you need to do. We will start with making an inventory of all of your skills, work experience, education, and achievements, combined with 6 success stories that you had throughout your career thus far. It is very important to have a document like that will list all of those items, and it's very important to have it handy. So what I would suggest is create a Google Doc or something that can be easily accessible on your phone or on your tablet, just so you can reach to that data whenever a situation will call for it. And we're going to talk about those situations in a bit. So let's start with making a list of all of your skills. It is very important that you list every single one of them in one continuous list. And don't neglect anything. Put everything on that list. If you know how to use Word and Excel, put it in. If you know how to weld, put it in. If you know how to garden, put it in. Everything matters. And the reason it does is of something I called a transferable skills. Depending on the country and depending on the job you're going to look for, there might be multiple skills that could be easily transferred between different careers. So even if your dream job is something that is still a little bit ahead of you, you are not there yet with all the skills required or all the experience required, there might be some transferable skills that we can then leverage to get you to that position. So do not neglect anything. Put everything on that list, even if it means that you're going to create a list with 100 skills on it. Obviously, the skills that you have the biggest mastery in, put them at the top. You don't really have to sort them too much, but the ones that you're most comfortable with, keep them at the top. Secondary, let's make a list of every element that is related to your education. Obviously your high school and your college or multiple colleges that you went to, but also list every online course that you ever did. And I'm talking about every single one of them. And in particular, something like Coursera or Udemy, if you took any of those courses and you completed it, so you can count it as something that you finished, put it on the list, and we'll get to them in a bit. Also, don't forget any of the courses that you might did through YouTube. Although YouTube is not particularly recognized as a learning platform, a lot of the videos over there, like this one, are educational. And watching through a series exactly like mine can teach you a skill. And nowadays, The source of the knowledge is not as important as ability to solve problems. So if you can demonstrate that you can solve a problem and an employer is willing to employ you to solve that kind of problems, the source of the knowledge will not matter. But if you can demonstrate that knowledge, this is what is going to matter. So put every single course you ever did on that list. Point number 3 would be to list all of your work experience. And here, what is very important is to list every single thing that is related to work that you either got paid for or not. Any voluntary jobs, any kind of association with groups in your college or maybe in your community center or in Toastmasters or in any group of this sort, put it in. Obviously, list everything that you did in that particular position you were taking, including the time that you spent, the responsibilities you took, all the elements that were relevant to that position. So if you were a webmaster, say that you were managing websites, you were managing content, you were managing the content management system. If you were a baker, put everything that is related to baking, creating the dough, baking, sorting, managing the stock and all other elements of it. For every job you did, put all those details in. What is also important is for you to put on that list all of the achievements you had on each one of the positions you took. And combine with that all the success stories that are related to that position. And don't neglect anything, even if it was tiny success, even if your involvement in a project generated some tiny improvements, put that on the list. You never know what kind of example will be needed during your interview, so it is very good to have all of them listed and handy whenever you need them. For instance, during a phone interview. And on top of that, try to quantify your success. So let's say you implemented some change in a store that you were working for, and whatever is that you did caused an improvement and sales went up. Although sales might be very easy to track and you might be able to say, oh, the sales went up 7%. There might be certain things that you will not be able to quantify easily. Then try to at least put some rough percentage on it. Let's say I changed this thing and it made an improvement which caused, let's say, 10% better situation. Whatever it is that you can put on that list of achievements or success stories, put it in. Number 4, references. In today's world, it's very important to have as many references as you can. We now change jobs more often, and it is very popular, at least in the North American continent, to have references from at least 2 employers going back. So it is very important for you to get some references from your employers and potentially from your clients and show them on your LinkedIn profile or have them handy printed out or an email that will qualify as references. That is all very important. And don't be shy about asking for the references. Nowadays, it's a common practice and nobody should be really making big fuss about it. So feel free to just go back to your previous employers as long as you still have good relationship with them, and I hope you do. Do the same with your clients. People are much more willing to provide that kind of feedback and those references than you think. So don't be shy about it. Go ahead and ask for them. Now, once you have the list of all of those elements, again, try to make sure that you have it handy and try to sort everything from the importance point of view and from the relevance point of view. So let's say you will be trying to find a job as a business analyst. Take all the skills that are relevant to business analyst role and put them at the top of the list. Do the same with your work experience. Try to make it chronological, but most important, relevant to business analyst role. Do the same with references and the same with success stories and achievements. Once you have all of that sorted, we're then going to look into creating your online presence and your resume and cover letter, which are going to be the future episodes of the series. I know this sounds like quite a lot of work, but believe me, you need all of that in order to be able to go through the next steps. And the work you're going to invest right now is going to pay tenfold in the further steps. And for everybody who this is going to be their first job, I would say start somewhere, even with one-day jobs, and generate experience over there. And even with a few weeks of experience, you then can start putting in some content on LinkedIn, and we can create a profile for you and get started. There is always something that can be put on your resume. So list everything that you can. Well, that's it for today. Put together that list and you will see why it pays off in next episode. Remember that one of the keys to success is a very good preparation. Hit like if you like that episode and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And also click subscribe in order for you to get notifications when a new episode comes out. Thank you very much for watching and take care.